What stood out is the idea that the environment is not separate from us. It responds, reflects, and even echoes the choices we make. From damage to restoration, from individual action to collective effort, we begin to see a pattern. That even the smallest decisions can accumulate to meaningful change. And perhaps that is where responsibility begins. Not at a global scale, but at a personal one. And now, we turn inward to a question many of us have probably asked ourselves before. Are people really lazy? Alex challenges how we define motivation, effort, and human behavior. Please welcome Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin with a scene I encounter almost every day. In the subway station, there's usually a long line of people waiting for the escalator. Right next to it, there's an empty staircase. The stairs are not broken, no one is injured, and no one seems to be in a hurry, and yet, almost no one chooses to take them. At first glance, the answer feels easy. People are lazy. But the more I stay with this scene, the more I felt that wrong. So, today I want to offer a different lens. What looks like laziness may not be a failure of character. It's a signal of something larger. It's an echo of our epic. Okay. And the escalator in the subway station is where all that echo emerge. It reflects a shared way of life we already get used to, and it carries the struggle many of us feel, even if we don't always talk about them. The first of these struggles is the way our energy is being managed. We live in an age of burnout. Surveys show that this isn't just a vague feeling, it's measurable and widespread. Nearly half of employees worldwide report feeling burnout at work. Around 3/4 say they experience burnout at least sometimes, with constant stress affecting engagement and motivation. Globally, about 40% of workers say they felt stressed a lot the previous day, and many report exhaustion and overwhelm that come with chronic workplace pressure. But beyond the statistics, this is something we all feel in our bodies. By the time we step into the subway, our energy has already been fragmented by work pressure, constant notifications, and the expectation to always stay productive and responsive. Research in psychology and neuroscience help explain why this fragmentation affects our choices. Studies on decision fatigue show that the more choices we make throughout the day, the harder it becomes for us to exert effort later, even for simple actions like climbing stairs. Our brain conserves energy by default, preferring actions that require less cognitive and physical effort. In other words, the escalator isn't just a shortcut for our legs, it's a shortcut for our decision-making system. In that context, the escalator becomes very appealing. It offers something we desperately want: effortlessness. Choosing the escalator isn't a refusal to move, it's a way of protecting what little energy we feel we have left. And this, I believe, is an important echo of our epic. We are not physically incapable of climbing stairs, we are energetically exhausted. For a long time, I thought this explanation was sufficient. I told myself that people avoid stairs simply because they're tired, and that's unfair. But one day, an experience completely challenged this assumption. I walked into a fitness center and saw a group of young women climbing stairs on a machine. It looked like a treadmill, except the step kept moving backward. They were focused, sweating, and clearly putting in real effort, and they were paying for that effort as if it were luxury good. Carefully designed, structured, and sold back to them. At that moment, my earlier explanation fell apart, because if people are willing to pay for effort, to purchase it, structure it, and commit to it, then energy is not what's missing. People do have energy. They're willing to spend it. The real question is no longer whether people are capable of effort, but why effort is avoided in ordinary life while embraced, only inside artificial spaces like the gym. As effort is no longer chosen, this led to the second struggle revealed by the stairs. The struggle of being disciplined in this acting. Traditionally, self-discipline was something quiet and personal. It was something you carry inside yourself. But today, discipline often no longer comes from within. It comes from outside. It comes from systems, schedules, machines, APPs, and environment that tells us when and how to make an effort. In fitness centers, ordinary actions like climbing stairs are transformed into machines that makes our effort meaningful. You're not simply moving your body, you're investing in yourself. Discipline becomes something you purchase and something that is maintained through membership fees. At the same time, self-discipline have become performative. Climbing stairs on a machine can be recorded, quantified, and shared. It becomes evidence that one is disciplined. By contrast, climbing real stairs in daily life offers no recognition, no data, and no social validation. As a result, discipline gradually shifts its way from inner cultivation towards external systems that define when and how to make an effort. And this, I believe, is an important echo of our epic. We're not physically incapable of climbing stairs. We're energetically exhausted, and at the same time, discipline becomes being disciplined often means to be guided and by outer systems. And beneath both exhaustion and outsourced discipline, there's something deeper at work. A struggle between living naturally and living in a constantly optimized world. Technology is really good at helping us run faster, but when effort is no longer chosen, we lose more than physical movement. We lose small abilities. The ability to stay with present, to choose for ourselves, even though the system is pushing us. We see this logic in fictions as well, and award-winning book, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, tells this story. Main character Harold received a goodbye letter from a friend who would soon die from cancer. At first, Harold was just shocked and sad and wanted to write a letter back. But on his way to mail it, he walked past one postbox after another, and he just couldn't do it because his simple letter felt too small to carry everything he was thinking or to save someone who's dying. So, he decides to walk the entire distance to his friend, 1,000 kilometers across England. Step by step, he moved forward without knowing whether it will make any differences. Along the way, he confronts the feeling he had been avoiding for years. Guilt over lost connections, silence in his marriage, and losses he thought he could ignore. By the end, walking doesn't save his friend, but it saved Harold from his past traumas. Today, the Tibetan pilgrims bears the same principle. Some walks for months to Lhasa, performing full body prostration along the way. Technology could make this journey faster when they choose effort itself as the method. The meaning comes not at the finish line, but during the journey in the repeated conscious act itself. These examples may seem extreme, but they reflect something happening in ordinary life. When effort fades out of our daily routine, you slowly lose the habit of paying attention, staying present, and choosing for ourselves. That is why the escalator and the stairs in the subway station tell a story. One is effortless, the other requires choice. Choosing the stairs is not heroic, it's a tiny, deliberate act of practice, a moment to notice your body, feel your breath, and remind yourself that you can act even without the system guiding you. Choosing the stairs is not heroic, and in those few steps, you may notice your heartbeat quicken and your breathing change. More importantly, you may feel a small sense of agency return, the feeling that your body, your movement, and your effort still belongs to you. Of course, we're not to criticize anyone for choosing the escalator. Instead, I want to make an invitation. On the day when your energy allows it, try choosing the stairs. Not for fitness, not for productivity, but as a conscious act. In those few steps, your heartbeat quickens and your breathing change. More importantly, you may feel a small sense of agency return, as I've mentioned. So, in those few steps, perhaps we're not fighting laziness at all. We are simply responding to an echo of our epic in our own quiet way. Thank you.